Okay, here is a video of replacing a master cylinder on a 2001 Ford Focus. Didn't really find a whole lot of videos on YouTube regarding this procedure. Most of the stuff I found was replacing a clutch master cylinder, so I decided to try and help anybody out that might need it. Basically, you start with, you remove the airbox here by disconnecting this line, this wiring, and pulling the screws out. And you pulls the cap off, and then you are down to that. And then you take your fuse box and you disconnect the bolt right here. It's a 10 millimeter, I believe. And then you take a screwdriver and you put it in right here, and you pop those clips loose, and you lay your fuse box right there. You reach in and you'll have to disconnect your lines, which I believe are 7/16 on one side and they're 1/2 inch on the other side. You can see that they're different sizes, just a little bit of a difference, but I guess it'd probably be metric, but I used a 7/16 line wrench over here, and I found a 1/2 inch wrench. I don't have any other line wrenches. I only had a few. So then after that, then you pull this out, and you have two bolts there. I think they're 13 millimeter. And then whenever you get to this point, you actually got it off. The setup that I got a brand new setup, and whenever I bought the master cylinder, it also had a line that came from here up to a larger reservoir that hangs on the firewall. That was a 8 millimeter bolt that came off there, I believe, and it was just one simple bolt that came off there. But the line setup that I bought only had some really garbage lines right here. They were supposed to fit in these little ports, and they kept blowing out every time you try and bleed it, because you're supposed to bleed it before you put it back on. And every time I put any kind of pressure to the back regarding a screwdriver to push through, it kept blowing the lines out. So what I did was I went and I bought 2 lines that had the separate pieces on, and put them in. And then I'll put this into my bench vise, and I'll lightly tighten it, not over tightening it. And then you take this and you'll have your reservoir, which I don't have right now. It's not hooked up. And whenever you do, whenever you pull it from the car, you'll have this little clip right here that you push, and you're able to pull it off. So you'll put it on like this, and it just clicks in place. And there's that. And then your best bet is to either have someone hold this up, hold your reservoir up, and you'll have to fill it up with any kind of, fill it up with your brake fluid, and then take a little bit of rubber line, and you can, of course, using shorter line, you can put this on, and each one of these tubes, you'll have to have a line on that goes over to your reservoir, so that you can pump the fluid like so. And then you can take a screwdriver just like this. Your best bet, my opinion, I've seen people do it with all kinds. They put a Phillips screwdriver in there, and I'm a little on the hesitant side. It might be a lot stronger than I thought, but I at least prefer to use a flathead. That way, if there's any possibility of it being a weaker metal in there, you're not punching it through. And then all you're doing is just pushing to pump the fluid through, and it comes up and it'll pump, all the air. It'll go into the reservoir, pump the air in there. The air, of course, is not going to stay in the fluid, and it'll pump all your fluid back through. And then basically installation is the reverse of your removal. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and I hope this really helps somebody. Thank you very much.